Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the Dr. Music Podcast. You may know him as Raw Dawg or Lil E from his work with Grammy and Oscar-winning group Triple Six Mafia, but you probably just recognize him as one of the greatest guitar players in the world. He got his first record deal
Wow.
for $250,000 at 15 years old. Now, more than 30 years later, with some 18 records under his belt, he is widely considered one of the greatest guitar players of all time. In January of this year, he released his latest album, Crown, which is co-produced by the great Joe Bonamassa, and it made its debut right where it belongs at #1 on the Billboard Blues chart. It is my great honor to welcome Mr. Eric Gales to the show. Eric,
Dude,
how are you, man?
that's one of the best introductions I've ever heard in my life. Thank you so much.
And it's all the truth, man. Absolutely. But I have to tell our viewers, I highly respect you as a player. Sure, everybody knows you're one of the greatest. But I heard you talk about getting that contract at 15 and not telling anybody in your school. You wanted to be judged on the content of your character, not because you're a guitar player. You're offered a tutor to go out on the road at that age. You
Right.
you refuse it. You want to graduate with your peers. Uh,
Exactly.
you are loved and respected in this house, my friend. That is you.
Thank you.
That's a genuine person right there. That's who we're talking to today. That's Eric Gales for sure.
Thank you
Uh,
so
yeah, it's pretty great. Joe has said of you, he is probably, if not arguably, the greatest guitar player on the planet. We all agree, for sure. You approached Joe to produce this album. What does having Joe as a co-producer bring to the record that wouldn't be there normally?
Joe is and always has been one of my best friends, man, and I trust the guy. I mean, evidently he's been doing some things quite right out there in the industry that has gotten him up up in an area and in a world that has and shown the works that he's done to be successful. That's on one end, and the guy to me, he says, what he has said about me, and I feel the exact same way about him. This guy's a monster of a player. His brain works a lot like mine, and me, him, and Josh got together and did everything that we could to try to put the best Eric Gales record that we could put together. Not the best Joe record, not the best Josh record, the best Eric Gales record. And I think we did a great job with it.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. This is a really special record, and all your stuff is fantastic. I mean, we all, you haven't cut a bad record yet. I don't think it's gonna happen. But this is really, like you say, a theme park of the blues, and that's how it feels. We
Yeah,
get some horns on this record.
yeah,
Uh, the storm and I gotta go is really a jumped up charged thing. And one of my favorite songs on the record, you have a lady named LaDonna singing on, who we all know, of course, your wife, LaDonna Gales. Take Me Just As I Am with the funky horns and stuff. Really special tune. How'd that feel to get her, in front of a lead vocal on that one? We don't get that very often.
it wasn't easy. Me and Joe had to kind of back her in a corner, man, and we told her, man, you got a voice that's so powerful and it need to be heard. And the message of the song fit with, kind of the theme of the record about things,
Mhm.
as black people and as a black woman. The only person that has it more difficult in this world than the black man, I think, is a black woman.
Yeah.
The whole message was, if you can't take me as I am, then good riddance with you. You know what I mean? Here I
Yeah.
am. This is how I was made. God don't make no mistakes. And here I am, and I thought it, and me and Joe thought it was a very fitting song, and I think she knocked it out the park. And when we get to do this, when we do this song live, we switch it up a little bit, and she really gives it everything she has, and we have a lot of fun, and the crowd just eats it up.
Oh yeah, and I can imagine. That's got to be great. And it reminded me. She's just got such a powerful voice, like you say, and it's so raw.
Yeah,
It reminded me a lot of the Betty Davis stuff, which I love.
exactly.
You know, uh,
Exactly.
you
We
know,
all said the same thing. We said the same thing.
yeah, it's just fantastic. Something we get on this record that we haven't seen from you is a really unusual piece. It's probably my favorite song on the record. It's got an Italian style guitar, a ballad of sort with an accordion, I think it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and this massive, massive solo that explodes out of the middle of it. I found her.
Yeah.
How does that one come about? Because that's really different for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I wanted to do a song that 80 and 90-year-old couples could listen to, on the anniversary, about it's about a man finding a woman and a couple finding a couple. And my sense this song is about me finding LaDonna. And yeah, it goes through, this sort of Rome Italiano sort of setting, and by the end of the song is where I get to press the gas. You know what I mean? And
Woo, it's wicked, my
let
friend.
and let all the emotion just run wild. And I think we incorporated that very very well in a song that gave you soft and ease and gave you intense and emotion toward the end.
Yeah, oh, totally. It's just an incredible song, an incredible song. Uh, Now you're going to write this record. This is an emotionally charged record. You can feel it. You listen to this record, you can feel the charge in it. Even more so than your others. When you're going to write this record, the murder of George Floyd happens.
Yeah,
That had a lot to do with the emotional charge of this record.
it absolutely did. The day before we began to start writing what happened to George Floyd, and it kind of changed the trajectory. I can only, anger, frustration, just some of everything. And there are things that needed to be talked about. And we tried to do it in a very meticulous way to where, it's much easier to. I wanted the songs to come across to where the audience or the listener felt as though I was having a conversation with them, and not just yelling or or trying to spit at them or anything like that. That wasn't the intent. I just wanted to let them know some views about things that they may or may not have known about, or from a black person's perspective, or just hearing how things can be in a world that not is not one that they have to live in. On a daily basis, but make the record still, listenable and enjoyable, but just inform them of some things that has been happening personally in my life. And I just all around, I'm just very, very proud of this record.
Yeah, as you should be, and it does come across as a conversation. It's eye opening. We feel that pain for
Yeah,
you. Obviously, I can't feel that same kind of pain,
I
uh,
understand.
but that's it is a great conversation. It's a conversation we need to have. So
Yes,
we appreciate that.
thank, thank you.
Could you have written a record like this 20 years ago? This is a really polished record. It's a really mature record. Do you think you could have written this 20 years ago?
I mean, it's hard to say, man. I mean, as for the content, this stuff has been happening since before I was born. So I
Hmm.
want to say yes, it could have been, but you know, yeah, things happen how they happen when they happen, and just unfortunately, by the death of a man, it caused for things to be riled up in this world, and the effect it had on me was that showed example about things that are happening in this world, that if I could help it to try to make change.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. I got to know you with this.
Ah,
You know, this record, ever since, I've been a fan. Nat, when you're 15 or 16 years old when you record that, you listen to that today. How does it feel? Do you still like that record?
I love that record, man. I
Yeah,
really do, man. It's stuff on that record that's timeless to me.
absolutely.
Uh, I enjoy. I try to save those tunes for if the point ever come across that me and my brother and Hubert, we ever decide to go back out and do some reunion stuff.
Mm,
That's exactly what we're going to be doing. But as of now, I'm still pushing forward and onwards and upwards with who Eric Gales is now.
yeah, absolutely. We regard you as one of the best in the world. And everybody that knows anything about blues guitar for sure. What a little self-analysis. What makes you better than the guy down the street? That's a great player. There's something special about it. Do you know what that is?
I don't. I don't. I just put everything I have into what I play, man, and what comes out comes out, and I'm just fortunate and blessed to have the avenue that I have to express what it is that I want to play and what I want to say, and it just makes me who I am.
Yeah, I think the great players play with these, and the special players play with this. You know, that's we get your heart for sure. That's what it is. And I hear Memphis when I listen to Eric Gales. Been to Memphis, it's got a sound, and the sound is Eric Gales. Just like I hear Mississippi when I listen to BB King.
Yeah,
Uh, it defines that place. Do you feel that your Memphis roots give your music an edge?
I do. I absolutely do. I do think that there is absolutely an essence about being from Memphis that gives, you know, that little special sauce on there, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. You've had some trouble. You hit rock bottom around 2009. Have found recovery. You made it out, made you a stronger person, probably. Do you think those experiences affect your playing?
I absolutely think they. I think that they. I think everything that happened to me in my life was for a purpose, man, and it made my story that I continue to tell on a nightly basis that much stronger. I'm just glad I didn't die in the process.
Yeah, it's so glad to have you here, man. It's not everybody makes it. We all know that. Um, I got time to play one song for someone to introduce them to Eric Gales. What should I play for him?
That's a good question, man.
Hmm. There's a lot in that catalog, my friend.
That's a good question. Are we speaking from Crown?
Anything. Your catalog, you know?
I would say I would let's go from Crown. Let's go Too Close to the Fire.
All right. Yeah. That sums up Eric Gales pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say Too Close to the Fire.
Very cool. Very cool. The famous Arsenio clip, Carlos Santana. Uh,
Uh,
he asks Carlos if there's anybody as great as Jimi Hendrix out there. He says there's a 16-year-old kid from Memphis called Eric Gales. He's pretty darn good. Uh, I'll pose that same question to you. Is there another Eric Gales, Eric Johnson out there somewhere?
Kingfish,
Kingfish. All
for
right.
sure. Kingfish. He is he the hands of the blues is in good hands, and guitar playing is in good hands with Kingfish. I pass the torch on to him. He's a bad man.
Awesome, awesome. Everybody listen to that. Kingfish for sure. Uh yeah, now I'm called The Story of My Life in 2008. How about writing the actual story? Ever consider writing it down?
Yes, I have. I've just been so busy with a lot of other things that's coming up, but I do have intentions of getting some sort of book or memoirs or something,
Yeah,
you know,
because
in my life. for
Yeah,
sure.
your story is one that people need to hear, and you know that your recovery, and not everybody makes it, like we said, and it's inspiring, man. It's inspiring.
Thank you.
If you could have a conversation, sit down, snap your fingers right now, and have a conversation with anybody in the world, who would that be?
Probably Hendrix.
Yeah,
Probably Hendrix.
yeah,
Yeah. Just
yeah,
to just to sit down and have a chat. Just not about anything and just anything.
yeah,
Just a regular sit down.
yeah. Cool, cool. I got a couple more for you. I'll let you go. I know you got a busy day, man. Um, Last night I hear a few tracks from the Ozzy Osbourne record. He's
Uh,
got guys on there like Jeff Beck and Eric Clapton. You know, we consider them kind of jazz blues players. You know, Clapton, much like yourself.
yeah,
Um, if you get a call from somebody like an Ozzy Osbourne to do a track on a record and the numbers are right and all that, that's a good deal for you. Is that something you would consider?
absolutely. In a
Yeah,
heartbeat.
yeah.
In a
That,
heartbeat.
it's a cool collaboration. It's something a little bit different. I'd love to see something like that. It'd be cool.
Absolutely, I would. Absolutely.
Very cool. Very cool. Last one for you. Is there a bucket list item for you? You know, something you haven't done. You've done so much in your life, and achieved so much. Is there something that you always wanted to do and you haven't had a chance yet?
I want to do some stuff with a symphony, man.
Ah, that would be awesome.
I want to do some stuff with a symphony. I've kind of, I can't really talk about it much, but I kind of have a little bit already. But when it's ready to be revealed, it will be. But I really want to do more of that kind of stuff.
Man, that is something to look forward to, my friend.
Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Eric, God bless you, my friend, and thank you so much for your time. You're a true hero, man. I so appreciate you. Hero with the guitar and your life. We look to people like yourself for inspiration, getting recovered, and being a good person, man. And we appreciate you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so
And,
much.
and don't forget to come see me in Chicago, man. You know, Chicago's the home of the blues.
Hey, it is. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you.
All right, take care.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.